Hi, and welcome to Soap Scoop, the Inside Soap podcast. We've got a great episode today, starting with a lovely chat with Jodie Prenger, and then we're going to chat all things Corrie, the Driscolls have arrived, Emmerdale, an interesting new pairing, and EastEnders adoption adventure begins. First, here's our exclusive preview at Coronation Street, followed by my chat with Jodie Prenger, who plays Glenda.
I'm thinking maybe I should give up the hotel.
What for?
Or at least take a back seat.
But you're at the top of your game. And you will be for many years to come. Listen to you. You're lucid, you're busy, successful, highly motivated woman.
Ladies, can I get you both a cup of tea? A sandwich, perhaps? Some snacks?
I'm sorry, we won't be long.
It is my break.
I know. And God forbid you should spend it in your own home. So go on.
Our Carl, well, he's very kindly offered to lighten the load.
Well, if it's downtime you need, that's different. But you're sharp as a tack.
I don't feel like it sometimes. Hey, and thanks for having a chat with our Kev the other day.
I'm glad to help. Hey, but I'm serious. You put us all to shame. Thank you.
Hi, Jodie. Welcome to Soap Scoop, the Inside Soap podcast. How are you doing today?
I am doing very well. Thank you very much for having me.
It is an absolute joy to have you. We are loving Glenda so much on screen at the moment. Her being manager of the Rovers has been a complete joy. What's it been like for you?
It's really hard work having so much fun and see everyone else have fun. And do you know what? I've loved it. All the games and the karaoke. So no, I've loved it. I've had lots of joy.
We've loved the games. We've loved the karaoke. I have to ask you, how on earth do you keep a straight face? You and Tony, who plays George particularly.
I
How
don't.
on earth do you do it?
I don't. I've always said this, and I will reiterate it. I wish they could show the bits what they don't show, as in because we do have fun, and it's hard to keep a straight face because he's not really funny, is he? He's so untalented. No, you do have a worry when you go in to do anything like join a cast on a show or TV, whatever, is who you paired with. And I'd heard things about Tony. That sounds ominous, doesn't it? I heard things about Tony, but all very good, and he definitely lived up to it. So no, I love working with that man. He's a good man. So.
Yeah, I love your on-screen dynamic. Like you say, like George is the straight guy, but he's you two are just hilarious together.
But you look at that doesn't necessarily, in fairness, that doesn't always work. You don't necessarily have chemistry, as it were. But with him, the rapport's lovely. And he loves dogs, so I love him anyway.
And now everything's all changed. The Driscolls have arrived. Glenda's been sort of a little bit nudged out the way. How does she feel about
that? I think she's worried for a job, but then the Jodie and me is they're really excited because they're just ace. It's like they've always been there. And so it's yeah, she's worried about a job. Am I giving it away? Tell them that.
No. I think we've seen on screen her worrying about
it. She's not moving. She's pretty stick her feet to that floor. She's gonna pull a few more pints.
What does she make of the family? What's her first impression?
I think because it's a big family moving in. I think Glenda, the character, is kind of taken aback and very unsure, especially what's going on with Carla and the ownership, and she's scared for a job. Like I think every single character in that pub is, and I think she gets on with with Maggie. And my very good friend Kath, I was really upset she was coming in. Really thrilled. I love her. So yeah, she's wary of it, but quickly warms to them. I would definitely say that.
Yeah, and I read that Kath kept it secret from you for a little while. What did you feel like when she told you?
I hate to say this, and I did say to her yesterday. I did ask her, but when I asked her, I did know.
Really?
I kind of know. But she was very good. At least I know she's good at keeping secrets.
Yeah, I mean, it proves how good you both are at acting if you manage to cover that up.
I know, I kind of gave things, so I was like going, so are you coming back? And just like, that was funny. I did know. I did know.
And I think she's described Glenda, Sean, and Eva as like three best friends behind the bar. Is that how you would describe it as well?
Yeah, we joke. We started calling each other Gleaver. I said, oh dear, that sounds like you need a cream for that. Oh, I've got the Gleavers. Oh, it just sounds horrible, doesn't it?
It's a little bit gross, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Right, you're right.
But are we seeing like a kind of best friend for Glenda now?
Yeah, it's nice to have that rapport and someone who is also kind of fun and probably bubbly and flamboyant and wants the Rovers to thrive. With warmth and comedy, there's loads of comedy coming through. So yeah, there's a lot of fun to be had, definitely with Sean.
Do they have a difference of opinion in terms of how the Rovers should be run?
There will be. There's that thing, and that's always good to watch, isn't it? Where they do jar. And I'm not talking about Glenda's pickles. And there's that very interesting dynamic she clocks with Maggie, the mother, and Eva. So that's very good. And then I don't know whether she wants to be in the middle of that or why she'll just get a bag of popcorn and sit back and watch.
Yeah. And obviously for you and Kath being great friends, that must play into your on-screen dynamic so well.
I know it doesn't mean the same thing. We were filming something yesterday, and it was just a bit, they were obviously filming the front of the bar, and we just kind of had to go to the back and get some glasses. And we're going, are you all right? Are we doing all right? So that, again, it's the conversations that you don't see, where obviously the viewer just thinks that we're being very professional and collecting glasses from the back of the bar. But we're just going, all right, are we doing all right?
So we need a behind the scenes. I think that's what we're saying.
I find it intriguing watching how things are made and such. And I'd like, they should do more here. It's brilliant.
I have a sucker for all the behind the scenes stuff. I love watching how it's all made.
I do, the nudge, well, all that stuff. I love it. I love it.
And I mean, are we going to see more karaoke? Because I personally would love to see more karaoke.
Would you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll pay you $5 for saying that. I'm sure there will be a karaoke at some point. I think she's always got that machine on standby. She probably carries it to the Trafford Centre with her, just in case anyone asks for a song.
Well, we did see the other day she had a little mini karaoke machine and her microphone on standby ready. So she's always prepared.
I know, isn't she? It made me laugh. Oh, do you know when we were filming that was funny that, could we get the karaoke light to go? We had so many takes because the light wouldn't spin around and stuff like that. And they had to switch it on at a certain point. So I might be ditching that one. I might get a new one from Amazon.
Well, I loved the naming of the microphone, and that whole thing made me laugh out loud. It was amazing.
It's just great, isn't it, when the writers get to give you those comedy moments?
Yeah.
They aren't made, they're made by the writers.
And George announcing to the pub that he'd got a stiffy. Incredible.
Do you know, when we read that, I thought, brilliant. No, I agree. I concur with you. It's brilliant, that one.
With Glenda, I think what everyone loves about her so much is that she feels like a classic Corrie matriarchal character. She's this vibrant, independent, strong woman that we love to see in Corrie. She's perfect for it.
Listen, there's no credit given to me that they are the women. It's credit given to the women that I've grown up with. I think Glenda's definitely part me nan because they had hotels in the bar, miming to Shirley Bassey. And my mum just kind of sorting the world out and putting the world to right. So they are the women, and it's lovely. Genuinely is. It's lovely to play those women that you've been surrounded with all your life and that are still celebrated. There's no other soap that can replicate those women so true for me. So it's a great honour to do.
Yeah, and we've heard there's going to be a lot more kind of scenes of female friendship and the women gathered together, which is great news.
All right, Chloe. I can't tell you. There is a scene I'm watching now. There's a scene that we've filmed with all the women and examples with Sue Devaney and Jane, and they're brilliant. They're just, and I hope they take the first 2 takes on them because that was all genuine laughter. No, I can't wait for people to watch them.
Oh, amazing. And we've also got Christina added to the mix as well. And I think everyone's really enjoying that dynamic.
Yeah. I mean, Glenda doesn't take to, it's a shame. Amy, I love her to bits. We're having a little bevy tonight. Yeah, Glenda's really wary. I think I don't think I realised how protective Glenda was over George. And I think that's very true to it. I think she's very protective, doesn't really trust Christina. And obviously she is in full belief that she is after George's money and the Undertaker. So we shall see.
Well, maybe you can tease her a little bit. Is she going to warm to her a little bit, or is she going to always be suspicious?
I think that the hard part of it is you can't help but warm to Amy as a person. She's an extraordinary actress, an amazing addition to Corrie. But there's some great stuff coming up and through the festive season. So yeah, watch this space.
Yeah, I was really pleased to hear that she's sticking around because she's such good fun. And actually, she has softened a little bit, I think, Christina.
Yeah.
Being more of her, hopefully more of her genuine personality rather than this sort of persona that she puts on. Very funny as well. We were speaking on the podcast the other day about this moment between Glenda and Kevin, because that came out of nowhere. What did you feel like when you heard that Kevin was going to make
into a bit of the old passion dash, didn't they? Stop it, Kevin, stop it. It must have been the way I had my eyelashes on. Yeah, I think that's a great kind of honour to be kind of attempted snug by a cobbles great. So no, it was funny filming that because we had to keep going at the different angle. It didn't really work. So I had to go in for the mug at a different angle. But yeah, no, that was quite fun to film.
Well, we can't really see Glenda and Kevin making a great couple. But if there was anyone else on the cobbles, taken or otherwise, who would you fancy?
Fancy. Does that include the dogs? Because I think Glenda should have a dog. My dad does still love dogs. I don't know. It's funny, isn't it? Because you always think like taken.
Yeah.
Who would you put me with?
I don't know actually, because the next thing I was going to ask you is if you could have any actor out there, who would be your kind of dream casting?
Pedro Pascal. Sorry.
Really? Oh, okay.
No, I think he's really good. I mean, my previous was Gerard Butler. I've kind of gone on to Pedro Pascal. So I feel there's always places to progress.
Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? Because I think we always expect characters to be paired up in some way. And as much as we love a romance, I do quite enjoy Glenda just being a free spirit on her own, really.
Just look with a Pedro Pascal cutout.
Maybe. Or just every now and again, a little snog. That'll do.
Just a little snog.
A little snog,
Who do you think I am?
Well, no, I don't mean in that way. I just mean,
I'm not that frivolous. I worked on the cruise ships, not a hooker shop. So no, do you know, it's the one question everyone does ask me actually if you're out and about. Oh, is Glenda going to get a fella? She's always on the apps and stuff like that. But listen, who knows? Who knows? It's out there in the ether.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be like, it'll be fun to see her try anyway, even if she's not successful.
And I think that would be quite funny to watch. Failure in love, I think that's part of her character.
Yeah, and we've seen her show like a really soft side and supportive side lately, certainly with Dev supporting him. And I know my brain was firing, going, Glenda seems really clued up on this and talking about kids and how to support them. And I've seen a theory floating around that somewhere out there Glenda's got a secret child. Have you heard this theory, and what are your thoughts?
No, I haven't heard that theory. Oh, is that this
Yeah.
something? Could be. It's actually here with me now.
Surprise guest.
I've not heard that.
Yeah, so a child she gave away or something like that. It's the classic Corrie storyline.
Yeah.
If they don't have that idea, maybe they might want to steal it. Who knows?
That means she would have to have gone with a fella first. I think I need to do the fella bit first. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, because we've seen the kind of her counselling people and being very sort of soft and supportive. And I wonder whether you think that there's going to be something we don't know about Glenda. Maybe there's some secrets she's hiding. What do you think?
Listen, this is soap opera. There are always secrets hidden, and that's why we enjoy it so much.
Do you ever go upstairs and kind of go, what's happening next?
I'm not one who does, because I like surprises. But I do pop up because it's lovely to speak to Kate and Verity and see what's going up. But I'm going up in December, so it's a shame I didn't talk to you after then. I might have known more. I mean, up to now, I've just know what's on a Friday, and that's Fish on a Friday in the canteen. That's all I know.
Well, I know you've just been filming Christmas, so maybe you could give us a little teaser of what Glenda's Christmas looks like.
It's family, which is lovely. Yeah, I'm allowed to say it is very dramatic. And I think she kind of clocks something. I think Glenda's a clocker, if that makes sense.
Mm.
She slowly clocks things and then kind of derives her, I say, wisdom from that. And what she sees is quite shocking. So it's going to be a big, shocking, dramatic Christmas across the board, but then filled with a lot of joy and fun. And I'm not giving too much away. We filmed some lovely scenes in the Rovers as well. So it's like that great thing that Corrie does, the joy, the drama, all rolled into one.
Yeah. I think that's what's so great about working behind the bar. You can be an observer, can't you?
Yeah. I think that I've got to tell the worst time I ever got observing was when it was Ken Barlow, Bill, and Stephanie Beecham. So just at the back, they had to retake the shoot because they just saw my face like watching like that. So you still look. It's lovely to still be in a job where you still get. I'm doing Coronation Street.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you still, yeah. But the Rovers are brilliant for that.
Are you still? I mean, I know you've been there a while now. Are you still pinching yourself?
Yeah, I do. I'm sad enough to admit that, and I'm glad I do, because you do really value. And we just did the audience with, and funny enough, we're just talking about it in the makeup room. We did the audience with, and they were brilliant. But they played a huge montage from all over the years, and you have a great sense of pride of being part of something that has been in so many people's homes for so many years, including your own.
Yeah.
And so, I love it. I do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's lovely to have Glenda as part of this like iconic show and a proper, like I say, a proper classic Corrie character. We're absolutely loving her, and I'm so glad that she's going nowhere, because I would have been campaigning if they'd removed her out of the bar. I'd have been there with my poster.
Hey, listen, whenever you need to hire a karaoke machine, you call.
I know where to go. Well, Jodie, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a lovely day.
Johnny, how lovely is Jodie? How much are you enjoying Glenda at the moment?
Oh, I love Glenda and I love Jodie. She's so great. Is there like a alternate universe where Glenda was going to run the Rovers and they didn't bother with this big new family coming in? What do you think? Much as we love them already, they've hit the ground running. But I don't know. One day I'd like to see Glenda, embrace her full Bet Lynch era and run it. She could run it on her own, couldn't she?
Or my alternative is she opens a rival karaoke bar. Now, how about that?
Glenda's down the road. Maybe on the parade, on the precinct.
Yeah, it needs a bit of livening up, doesn't it? It's very dreary down there.
It's really true. None of the shops are ever open. Like I've been to the precinct in the real life. You can't have a little milkshake and sweet enough. It's never open. There's a bakery. It's never open. Yeah. So I think, that's a great idea. Glenda's karaoke bar. I'd go.
But then let's talk about the Driscolls, because what an opener.
My gosh. So they are here to party, it looks like. I really felt like I was at that lock-in in their first episode. So much fun. Really felt like a bit of a relaunch, like a new season. It had like episode 1 new season energy with the Driscolls arriving. Great to see Eva back. And they were just there. Like, you know what I mean? The episode didn't really waste a lot of time in setting up and who's who. They were just there. Eva takes her blindfold off, takes her earphones off, and they're in. And obviously, we've got that great kind of hook of Maggie's arrival. Pauline McLean's going to make Evelyn Plummer look like a nun. I think she's going to be trouble. She's definitely got the the Blanche vibes. But really fun. What I love about the Driscolls is that they're putting all the community together already. The Rovers has felt a little bit flat, isn't it? And a little bit like not the fun place to be it should be. And I feel like everything's going to be happening in the Rovers. Well, it already is. Like Toya and Leanne, that spectacular fight was like real old school Corrie. And Maria and Eva, daggers at each other. I'm here for evil Maria. My theory is that Maria is an evil genius all along, because she's done some shocking things and people forgive her. So there's cat fights, there's love, there's warmth, there's humor. It's got so far so very good, I say.
Yeah, and the week that we're covering in the magazine at the moment is obviously the week after they arrive. So it's a bit more of them settling in. And we've got Ben, who's Eva's husband, starting a bit of beef with David Platt. Now, is this going to be just comedy, or do we think that we could see maybe like Ben having a darker side? What do you reckon?
I think Ben has got a dog. Are they married as well? I think they're due to be married, Ben and Eva. I'm not sure they are married. Are they? I think they're fiancé, but I feel like they're gonna wait for a wedding, and that's why they're gonna come in and we're gonna get to love the characters, and then we're gonna have like a big spectacular wedding next year.
But I have heard that they are supposed to be a very stable couple. I'm thinking kind of Mick and Linda from EastEnders. That's the vibe.
Look how that ended.
Well, yeah, let's hope they don't go to Dover. That's all I'm saying. But there's going to be a really interesting story with Ben's youngest son, and we're not allowed to talk about it because it's very hush hush. But I think that's going to be super interesting and maybe quite divisive, but I think quite topical as well. So I'm excited to see how that plays out as well.
Yeah, and yeah, we're yet to meet Will, as you say. He's arriving next week. He's talked about in the first week, but we don't yet see him. But yeah, I mean, I definitely agree there's Mick and Linda vibes. I think that I feel like Corrie might have been wanting to kind of capture that early Carter spirit. But yeah, the Will thing is so hard, isn't it? Because we can't say. I mean, we know some juicy things, Chloe, don't we? But maybe in a few weeks' time we can kind of discuss it. But keep your eyes on it, because it's kind of, it's a bit like It's Not What You Think, and there's so much to it. And coming with such a big story, and it will be a controversial story, shows a lot of faith, don't you think, in the new family, in the new characters. Obviously Eva's there, and we know Eva, but yeah, they're really coming in. I think again, like the Carters came in, and Johnny's coming out to Mick was so huge. That was like their second episode or something, wasn't it? And it really established them. Yeah, very bold to do something so big so early on with a new family.
My only query was the reveal of Ollie of being Ben's son. I was a bit like, oh, is that it? Was that
I think it was like a spy, like a secret agent. I thought like Toya had been arrested on a march about the Red Wreck, or stop animal cruelty, and he was part of that. So I mean, yeah, I think maybe we watched too much soap and we got a bit overexcited and thought he was like an international spy
as well, because of the whole Joel thing. I think everyone was just expecting him to be a wrong'un. Like, I was thinking, too good to be true, he's buying her kid like a cuddly toy, he's very sweet. But if you're very sweet in soap, that usually means you're secretly very, very dark underneath.
Yeah, and they, again, like with Joel, Corrie have really, they've put our antennas on alert, haven't they? We're really looking at every boy next door thinking super villain. There's still time. He's only just like been established. He's only just turned up. And if maybe this whole Carter vibe energy is a whole ruse, and they're all evil villains underneath. Yeah, but also with Dee-Dee sort of going, we know Dee-Dee is not sticking around for long. They've got this guy in, put him and Dee-Dee together, and then she's going. I don't know. It feels like Ollie's already a spare part, and he's only just turned up.
Yeah, do you think? I mean, I've read the interview with Shanique, and she was obviously quite cagey about how Dee-Dee goes. Do you think they're going to give her like the happy ever after, where she goes off with Ollie, or do you think she'll kind of go off independently on her own?
I think I can see.
Yeah, I do.
Hope anyway. I can see her kind of, because she went on quite the journey with motherhood anyway, and I think now she's kind of knows what she wants a bit more, and I hope, yeah, Miss Independent Dee-Dee, but you never know. But I feel like Ollie must be sticking around. He's in all those pictures. He's in that trailer. Like,
but he's on the edge. He can be chopped off the picture. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. Could be onto something.
Speaking of romance, we have to talk about Emmerdale and a very unusual pairing that has emerged. Now, I described them to you as a bit of a Boxing Day leftover. They're the kind of characters who they don't really have anyone. We're going to put them together. Hope they go well together. Taste good. You know what I mean?
They do need putting in the microwave, don't they?
Kerry and Jai. Thoughts?
#K. Jerry. What are we?
Jerry. But we've had Jerry with Hollyoaks, so no, we can't do that.
Jerry.
It's Jerry. It's got to be Jerry.
Yeah, you are right. Like I feel, and this does happen with soap, doesn't it? When certain characters just sort of end up a bit isolated. Maybe all their family have been killed off and they've avoided the axe. Maybe storylines have just taken them down a bit of a cul-de-sac. Kind of feel like they're great characters, and I do feel at various other points have been underused as well. This does remind me a bit of years ago, Nicola and Jimmy got together. Feels like they've been together always, but they were both in the show a long time before getting together. And I remember thinking because again, it was quite a random sort of hookup you didn't see coming. They're one of the strongest, most popular couples on the show now and have been for years. I do remember thinking Boxing Day Leftovers about them. So, maybe they're going to turn out to be a big power couple. I do like them. I loved Jay and Charity. I loved Jay and Laurel, actually. One of my favorite more recent storylines. Gosh, it's probably 100 years ago now, but Jay and Laurel and the termination story. I thought was really, really brilliant. And I feel like, that kind of is something that's perhaps not referenced enough. I thought they worked really well together as a couple.
Yeah, I agree. I personally, I know Jay's quite a controversial character because he's a bit, he's a bit awkward as Jay. He's a bit of a, miserable so. I love Jay. I'm very sad that once I didn't get to interview Chris Bisson when I had the opportunity because something else came up in the way, and I was gutted because I wanted to be like, I love Jay. I'm one of Jay's biggest fans. I think he's a great character. You need those like mithery, grumpy people in the office that are just a pain. But I think he's fantastic, and I loved.
I'm not that grumpy person.
Well, just to confirm, Johnny is not.
Come on.
Jay is such a great character, and I think he is isolated. I mean, poor old Rishi, and I mean,
all right, gone too
soon. I know. I'm bringing in the brother briefly, and bringing in the birth dad briefly, and that's gone out the window. Poor Jay.
And him and Manpreet don't really interact, do they? That's his stepmom.
Yeah. Do you know what? I actually did think that Jay and Manpreet were going to get it on at one point, yes. And I thought that could have been a really great pairing. And Charity were fantastic together. I love that pairing. Great
power couple. Really he was excitement of like he was a proper like shady kind of slimy villain, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was very powerful in that era, and he's been a bit robbed of that now because he is, like you say, he's kind of the grumpy guy.
He's a bit weaselly, isn't he? He's a little weasel.
He's a bit Ian Beale. Do you think he's gone? He's turned into that kind of quite officious, but probably stab you in the back very easily kind of character. I mean, does he know what he's getting himself into with Kerry? Because she is a firecracker.
Kerry is a nightmare. I just feel sorry for anyone who has to go out with her. Again, I love the character. Love Laura Norton who plays her, but she is an absolute nightmare. I think they've toned her down a little bit, so I think that could help.
Yeah,
and I think
a type though. Charity's a nightmare. He likes the high maintenance.
Yeah, and obviously it didn't work with Laura. I really like those two together, so I think that was a shame that they ended those two because they had quite a nice family unit as well. But anyway, with Kerry, I think she is that spiky sort of person that she'll rub him up the wrong way, and that will be really fun. And plus, obviously, she's his employee. It could get really awkward at work. I think it has the potential to be fun. But when I was watching the scenes at the depot, I kept thinking, Kerry and Billy had chemistry, and I think everyone was watching them going, something gonna happen here. So who knows? We could have a love triangle on our hands at some point.
See this? You've got great soapy sense, Chloe. Always that you can spot things. I can see a love triangle kind of coming up, and also to make it quite fun because all three characters, in this made-up love triangle that we have made up, just to be clear, it's not actually happening. They've all had quite the trauma, haven't they? Jay's been through a lot of trauma. A lot of his family have gone or are dead. Kerry obviously has had a big bereavement this year. Billy's not really had the best kind of time of it. He feels a bit sidelined as well, and a bit forgotten. They all need some fun. Do you know what I mean? And some just a bit cheeky, just to bring some joy back to those characters would be good. I think we often manifest things here on the Inside Set podcast. I could see that happening. Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. We could get some kind of naughty capers at the depot that could liven it up a bit.
I've seen that film.
Well, another couple who are big in this week's storylines are Suki and Eve with their adoption process. And I'm quite excited by this. We're getting to finally meet Eve's mum. Now, how do you know that she's a middle-class, uppity kind of character? She's wearing a cardigan and a little cravat scarf.
Of course, that tells you everything you need to know about the character before she even opens her mouth and before we even see her on screen. She might as well have glasses on a lanyard and like several pashminas draping over her. You know, I thought, though, just because, she's kind of a Northeast heroine as a character, I imagine someone like Vera, Brenda Blethyn Vera, quite a bit more buttoned up and a bit more earthy and a bit more working class, perhaps. I don't know. I always felt Eve's background was quite rough and ready. I don't know why. Eve's quite tough. Eve's been in prison. Yeah, this is quite a surprise as to, I mean, we're basing it on her cardigan, obviously, but I think you're on the money. But I don't know. But then again, if Eve obviously rebelled, as against her family, they didn't get on. She obviously took herself out of the equation. So yeah, she doesn't seem like she comes from a cardigan spell family. It's going to be so interesting and finally we really delve into Eve's past and her family. She's talked a lot about the sister she lost and all of that, but getting to see her interact with this person that we have heard so much about is going to be fascinating. And I mean, we're all here for more Heather Peace because we love her so much.
We do, yeah.
Great to delve into Eve's history. I'm very intrigued.
Yeah, because it felt like for a long time that all Eve was Suki's girlfriend, and she didn't really have a life outside of that. And every time I've spoken to Heather, she's like, she went to prison. She's a bit dodgy. She's got all this kind of potential to do dodgy things, and we're not seeing that. And I think actually I would love to delve a bit more into who Eve is, and not even just her background, but maybe just like, yeah, get her doing dodgy things again. Because I think as much as I'm interested to see kind of where this storyline goes, because it's, pretty groundbreaking territory, especially for EastEnders to be covering this, and two women trying to adopt. And I know there are a lot of people that are obviously really excited and, eager for the representation. I do worry that adoption is one of those things that can drag out for a hell of a long time. And on soap, you are limited in that time frame. You don't want to bore people by having this go on for 18 months. So you've got to make it dramatic. I think that's really difficult. Suki's obviously got the family who could be causing trouble outside of her world. You've got Ravi, obviously, nightmare. But how are they going to liven this up? Because my fear is it's a bit boring for these two characters.
Yeah, that is the danger, I think. Like you say, when, this kind of storyline, often they start with great intentions and they either fizzle out or you're a bit like, yeah, but where's the hook? I do feel that also, like, let's not forget Suki is, Dr. Evil. She is capable of very bad things, and that's kind of why we love her. It's great to see the softer side with her and Eve happy and all of that, but Suki's like, she's kind of can be quite nasty. I don't want her to lose that edge. I don't want her to go to prison. I don't want her to be like a master criminal. And yeah, is it going to clip the wings of two characters that I would rather explore a bit of the darker side with both of them, to be honest, and with that push and pull in the relationship where they found their person and they found each other, which is great. But they've both got their demons, and when pushed, they can do quite bad things. So yeah, I don't know, but we're assuming it's going to be all nice and happy families. Maybe if they do adopt, and I don't know, it depends what age child they get. What if they had some like nightmare teenager they ended up like adopting or something, and they'd be like, oh, thought we were bad. Yeah, I don't know. I do worry that the edges might be smoothed off to really like formidable characters. And I feel Suki, we need to go back to like sinister Suki, because I think I miss her. I miss that sinister matriarch.
I don't. Well, I do and I don't, because I feel like I love the edge of both characters, and I feel like when they were first getting together, and you had Nish in the background, and it was all very kind of like, will they, won't they, and although they can't because Nish is there, and he's being vile to Suki. That was great. That was really good stuff. But removing Nish from the equation, although I know fans will be screaming at me going, we just want them to be happy. And I understand that everyone wants their couple to be happy. We all want a bit of happiness, but I don't want them to just be with their adopted child, making a cup of tea. It's not very exciting. And I
surely, because Suki and Eve have been about twists all along, haven't they? That relationship was a twist. So yeah, there's got to be twists. But yeah, as you say, we don't want them to be miserable. I think we just want them to be a bit rebellious. That's what we say.
Yeah, exciting. I don't know, like you say, this potentially, if they did get a child, then, and they're a bit older, they could be causing drama of their own. But it would also be nice to see Suki redeem herself and actually, have a decent shot at parenting, because her other kids, not so much.
I mean, yeah, she's 78th time lucky, whatever this is for Suki as a mother. Yeah, she's not. I do think they've approved this adoption. I don't know, like Suki's has been kind of a master criminal for years. Eve's been in prison. Everyone deserves a second chance. But would you trust these two to teach life lessons? I don't know. Maybe
Eve knows someone higher up in social services that's forged the paperwork or something. That's the kind of thing I'd like to see. A bit more like naughtiness, I think.
Skullduggery. Yeah. So yeah, like you say, let's hope EastEnders can liven up a drawn out adoption process.
Yeah, this is always the hard thing with soap. You've got to balance the real life. You're going to get people complaining that it's not realistic, but we're not watching a documentary. We want to watch some sort of juicy drama happen. But this is only the start, and we don't know what trouble Eve's mom is going to bring. She might not even write the reference for Eve, and then what's going to happen. So lots more to come with this storyline. Well, thanks so much for watching today. Like and subscribe if you've enjoyed us. And we've got another great episode and a brilliant interview next week, and we'll see you then.